So just how many minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes really.
To go for the all-important toss. Though we keep saying all-important, we said it last time as well, and the team that lost the toss ended up winning the match. So, but
And
let's see what happens this
Two very surprising things have happened overnight. One, sudden smog. Suddenly it's plummeted, the air quality here. Yes.
It started happening yesterday itself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. And already, according to the pitch report, Matthew Hayden says it looks like a day 2, day 3 wicket.
Oh, he said that.
Yes, he said that.
Good morning, Satyajit. Good morning to everyone who's joining us.
Yep. And India, Australia facing an uphill task for 2 reasons. One, India have not lost in Delhi for over 30 plus years.
87, West Indies.
Yes.
So how many tests have we played in that time in Delhi?
We played about 4 to 5 tests.
That's not bad. At least that's a decent.
Yeah. 2008, the Border Gavaskar Trophy match against Australia, it was a draw. So, and in 2013, India won against Australia. So, we actually, and against West Indies, we have won a test here. We won against Sri Lanka here. So, we have had a pretty decent record in Delhi. Needless to say the least. And Australia have never won. We are talking about fortresses, right? There is this
is where, it's the homecoming of Border Gavaskar Trophy.
Yes, 1996.
Because this is exactly where this trophy started.
Yep.
But that one-off test match, I remember, because very rare occurrence of an Indian wicketkeeper in those days getting 100 in test cricket.
That too 150.
Yeah, 152 I think.
Yeah, 152.
152 he got. So that was rare.
Yep.
Because that in those days now it's become common for wicketkeepers to be batting well. Like a Deepdas Gupta got 100, so everyone remembered.
Mohali I think you got in England.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if Nayan Mungia got 100, everyone remembered. Because any runs from a wicketkeeper were like a bonus. Yeah. So he was predominantly just a keeper.
Yep.
But the one thing was that the wicketkeepers you got were like out and out, genuine wicketkeepers.
Yeah. Yes.
Imagine
MS Dhoni changed all that.
But you got a regular wicketkeeper who you expected runs out of. No more just a bonus, but you expect.
Exactly.
So homecoming of Border Gavaskar Trophy.
And homecoming for David Warner also. Playing for Delhi Capitals. So
he's played for Delhi Daredevils also.
Yes.
That's the team he made his debut.
Yes.
Yep. And then he went to Sunrisers. And I think we are all set for the toss.
Yeah, there is smog by the way in Delhi.
You can see it even on TV. It looks like a
297 AQI today.
297?
Yes.
That's not bad. We're used to 500.
We're used to 900 also.
Yeah,
one time
500, 600.
Oh boy.
290, okay. But maybe this is also that early morning mist also you get a bit combined with a bit
Australia yet again won the toss and they may bat.
They will bat.
They have to bat.
Let's see. They will bat for sure.
So Australia.
Harpinder Pannu says, good morning guys. Australia will come back and will take revenge of Gaba because of this fortress thinking. Because Gaba was a fortress. So we breached it. So now Delhi, I don't know if Delhi is a fortress, but yes, India has got a good record. Not as good as what Australia had at the Gaba.
Yeah. And remember, India's last loss was against the West Indies in Delhi. Australia's last loss before that was also against the West Indies.
A lot of coincidences, and Australia have in fact chosen to bat.
So
least surprising thing.
Kuhnemann is the debutant but then who will he replace?
No, but have they announced that it was only one? We know that Kuhnemann is that one guy who's got the cap, debut cap. 400 and something.
466.
466th player to be playing for the Australian cricket team.
Yep.
So he's got that. A test team, right? It's a specific test cap.
So the baggy green.
Yeah, not necessarily
the team has come out.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly check the team. The Indian team is here. Let's see any changes. Yes, Shreyas Iyer is in for Surya Kumar Yadav.
That is the only
The one change that India has made, as was expected.
Yep.
That is no Surya Kumar Yadav and Shreyas Iyer is back. As far as the Australian team is concerned, they've got Kuhnemann, they've got Nathan Lyon, and they've got Todd Murphy. So they're going in with 3 spinners.
Yes.
So the only fast bowler is Pat Cummins.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, and they've not gone with the all-rounder.
They're not gone with Green because Green was anyway racing against time, and I think Head also might be in.
head is there. 4 spinners.
Oh, 4 spinners.
For Renshaw, yeah.
Renshaw, yes.
So Travis Head comes in.
Yeah.
I'm a bit surprised with that. But let me just run through the Australian team for you guys. First, David Warner, Usman Khwaja still opening. So, that clears one doubt because there was a lot of talk about David Warner being dropped for this test match. But he's continued. Maybe we'll talk about him going forward. Labuschagne at 3, Steve Smith at 4. Also the vice captain. Travis Head comes in. Lot of criticism last time around where they left Travis Head out of their 11.
Yes.
This time he's come in for Renshaw. Renshaw was brought in as a spin expert. But
so much for that. Just bowled 2 overs.
But his expertise was severely lacking.
Yeah, expertise against spin didn't show much. And Travis Head wasn't picked because they apparently consider him not a good spinner, player against spin in subcontinental conditions. So that's why they didn't pick him, but was in great form. So they've gone back. Peter Hanscom is there. Dare I say, looked like the best player against spin in the last test match.
Comfortably.
Yeah. And not just looking at the runs. He may not have got the most runs or whatever, but just look the best player against spin for Australia last test. Carey is your wicket keeper. We'll see. Will we see more of reverse sweeps and sweeps from him? We'll see. Pat Cummins, your captain. Now it gets interesting. So Todd Murphy had to play after his performance in that test match. Was a standout bowler for them. And Nathan Lyon had to be there, even though didn't get too many wickets, but then he is the most experienced spinner that they have, and of course a match winner, so they'll go with him. And Kuhnemann, the guy flown in specifically after that first test match, so he wasn't just flown in as a backup, as we now know. He was flown in to do the job after looking at what Ravindra Jadeja and to a lesser extent Akshar Patel did. They have gone in with a left arm spinner finally. So Matthew Kuhnemann comes in and makes his debut. Now, to the Indian team, as I said, exactly the same as last time. The only change that they've made is Shreyas Iyer coming in for Suryakumar. So let's talk about the changes. We'll start with the Indian team. What do you make of?
Much expected. And I think Shreyas Iyer will enjoy this because he's their best player against spin. So 3 spinners and no short pitch stuff to worry about. Dead deck we may see with cracks, slow, low. I think Shreyas Iyer will be the right addition. Suryakumar Yadav, unfortunately, we knew he was on borrowed time. One innings he got in Nagpur, didn't do much. Couldn't stake a claim that okay, I'll play in the Delhi Test. So Shreyas Iyer had to come back. It was only a matter of time.
Exactly. I don't think there was any doubt. I think this was the one change we all expected, and it's the one change we got. Nothing beyond because, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but it was not broke and they fixed it by removing a player who was in the team last time.
I mean the rest of the team compositions.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I think the indication was already there. Rahul Dravid said it on the eve of the game, where he said that if Iyer is fit, as in he passes the fitness test, then of course he comes in. And what was very interesting is he explained the thought process. So it wasn't a season, he said, because I think there was a specific question asked to Rahul Dravid at that time was, because you make a point of Suryakumar getting that inning and not getting too many runs. My point is, assuming Suryakumar got a lot of runs, let's say he got an 80-90, and that's the question that was put forward to Rahul Dravid. Assuming, let's say he had a good knock, would he still have made space for Shreyas Iyer? And to which Rahul Dravid said yes, because this is a philosophy and this is now one of, I think probably the first time where you're getting a clear. We all knew what the team was doing, and we used to keep talking about the team management or how this team management is backing their players or wants to back their players, and they don't want to shuffle just for the heck of shuffling and make players insecure by one knock. So he comes in, you go out. So he made it. He said yes, it's not written in stone. He mentioned that it's not written in stone, but there is an understanding. And he said, at least from my side, I can say that if there is a player who's been doing well, as Shreyas has, then obviously if he's out because of an injury, obviously when he's fit he'll come in. Doesn't matter what the other guy who got a chance at that time did. That fellow has to get a chance. And he said, by the way, what he pointed out, because we always keep looking at runs, right? And we say, oh, Shreyas has got so many runs. He actually pointed out to the fact, he said he got runs under pressure.
Correct.
Yes.
So he said that is very important, especially that Bangladesh knock he spoke about with
New
Ashwin.
Zealand also.
New Zealand also, correct. So those knocks where the team was under the pump, you needed someone to step up and play a crucial knock under pressure. So those are the things that the team values, the team management values. So that is what Rahul Dravid said. So no surprise he comes in, and I think it was but natural. That Shreyas, I think this is a bit of good news also that Shreyas Iyer is fit.
Yes.
I mean, just for cricket fans in general. So that's the one change. In terms of spinners, many may argue that Akshar Patel did not get too many overs. Should you continue with him? But I think that's because
valuable runs with the bat though.
Yes, that, and I think that at not every game will the Australians crumble. There could be a situation where there'll be a partnership, and which is where you might need to look beyond the Jadeja and Ashwin also. At that time, what was happening, whoever is getting the ball was just getting wickets. So,
exactly.
And there was a funny comment, I don't know, of Rohit Sharma, did you see after the game where he was talking? He said, it's very tough to captain these three guys.
Milestones.
Because every match, there is some milestone happening. Someone's reaching 250, someone's reaching 350, someone wants to do a fifer. So that everyone wants the ball. And I don't know how to balance it. I don't know whether...
He was very worried in quotes.
No, I mean, that was all in good humor. What he was saying.
Yeah.
But
I didn't agree on that.
But I mean, you get an idea, right?
Yes.
Which is, I think, if I was captain, I would be like, good, this is, my
nice problem to have.
At least he didn't have to worry about which end to bowl. Where is he getting much assistance from? They're getting assistance from both ends. Go, whatever you want to do it.
No, I rather be the captain of a team where my bowlers are running after me for the ball, rather than being in a captain of a team with a bowler saying, I won't bowl, I'll get hammered. And there have been occasions like that. So if people are thinking, where will there be bowlers who don't want to bowl? There have been times where bowlers don't want to bowl, specifically when there is a good innings happening or someone is playing. Who's that?
Pooja Pujara.
She's come for the 100 test.
Pujara.
Yes. What a moment for him.
Big moment,
13th player to become 100 centurion in terms of
13 Indian player.
13 Indian, I mean.
Yeah. And made his debut against Australia.
Yes.
72 in that Bangalore test match, 4th innings. And incidentally, he was touted as the replacement for the current head coach.
Correct, Rahul Dravid. He was always...
And now head coach is watching his apprentice with 100 test matches. I mean, it's a tribute to Cheteshwar Pujara. I mean, the runs, he's the classic case of, 7,000 runs, 45 average. You say, very middling career, but no, look at the impact he's had.
Amount of match winning.
The two series that they won in Australia.
Series in one. He was man of the series, I think.
Yes.
The 2018 one.
2018-19 was the defining
series of Pujara.
Yes. And even 2020-2021. Rishabh Pant may have stolen the show, but it was Pujara who weathered the storm.
Who ground down the
928 balls in that entire series.
Yeah.
And in fact, 4 of his 6 player of the match awards have come against Australia. Man loves playing against Australia.
Absolutely.
And he's playing against Australia's 100 test match. So maybe another milestone coming his way.
And it was the making of Pujara in the Australia series. In 2013, got a double 100 in Hyderabad, Murli Vijay. That partnership that he had was 300 plus.
Right.
Murli Vijay reminds me, I will get back to Pujara. Just Ashwin rated him the 3rd best opener for India after Gavaskar and Sehwag. Of course, you can't put him ahead of
Gambhir.
Exactly. Gambhir. There could be some other openers that could come into contention.
That was an interesting one to say the least. Although,
I could only think of Gambhir. Because in the 90s, we had a very mishmash kind of an opening this thing. Sometimes it was Vikram Rathod, sometimes it was Nayan Mongia.
Yeah, there was a phase. Before that, you realize, of course, maybe not, I don't know, Chetan Chauhan. Yeah, I was just going to say Chetan Chauhan. Don't look at that, didn't get hundreds or whatever. But
Gavaskar's partnership with
Impact is what I'm saying. Chika briefly.
Chika's a cult hero for sure.
Yeah. I'm just saying there were players.
He and Viv were the first to baseball, I'm telling you.
And to T20s. Like they would have been not out of place at all in the modern day format.
No, I'm just trying to think of more openers. Shikhar actually had a good
he had a very good phase.
He did, especially at home.
Yeah.
Very good player.
So I'm just saying that suddenly maybe it's a video worth doing.
Yeah.
Let's dig out some data and do a separate video. Maybe during a test match, because we have like longer gaps, we dig some data and do a debate on that. I think it's interesting. Maybe Ashwin is right. Or maybe he's not. Or again, it's just subjective. It
Yeah.
it might change from people.
Maybe,
But
yeah.
what we can do is put some numbers together, and numbers doesn't just mean looking at like most runs. Maybe you can look at impact or some important
Match-winning
innings.
knocks,
Yeah, or man of the match awards or things like that, or
Yeah.
a crucial partnership that may have helped win you a match or whatever. So there were a few. Gambhir, then yes, alongside Sehwag, that lasted
That
a long
too,
time.
yeah.
And I think maybe I'll keep those pointers for the video.
For the debate.
So you could also chip in with some of your comments who you think is the third best opener in India in Test cricket. Of course, there's no argument over Gavaskar and Sehwag, so you'd only have to find the third best.
Exactly.
That's undisputable.
Okay, so Gavaskar is
Yes, Mr. Gavaskar is presenting the cap.
memento to. Wow, nice cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
First man to get to 100 tests for India, giving it to
The 13th.
the 13th.
And let's still focus on getting the job done.
Pretty.
When
Yep.
you go out to bat, it looks as if you're not just taking the bat with you, but you're taking the India flag with you when you go out to bat. You put your body on the line for India.
It's lovely to see his father
Yeah, Arvind.
because if you guys didn't know, his father is the one
Yes.
who started his career. So I did a couple of interviews with Pujara for corporate clients, and so he gave me an insight into a few things about audios ka kam karna because you might get a strike,
Exactly what I was saying.
Shivam. So just to give you a couple of very interesting stories, or should I keep it for?
Keep it for your.
Okay, I'll tell you some stories
Yeah.
because he's playing his 100 test. Actually, good day for me to
good
do a
day.
story
Yes. Yes.
on Cheteshwar. Chalo, I'll do it for later.
Yep.
So we already got. So Murli Vijay is greater than Gambhir, says Sai Baba. Okay.
Karan Sutar, Vijay.
And if it's Sai Baba who's saying, we can't disagree, right?
Vijay,
He is
because-
watching.
Yeah, he's at least watching us. Kripa Drishti is there. Vijay, because most of his hundreds have come outside of
Not
Asia.
true.
Karan Sutar.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's got in Australia. He's got
But
it in-
most no. I think he
We'll
had
have to
2 or
dig
3.
that.
I remember
Yeah.
we were checking that out. He's got 2 or 3 outside of Asia. Rest all have been at home. So
Yeah, he got in.
he missed out in South Africa. He's got in Australia.
He's got in 90s in South Africa.
97. I remember that one.
I think he didn't play in New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was not there in
So
New
no,
Zealand.
that part we'll have to check.
We'll have to check that, yeah.
No, we'll keep that for the video.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll
Now
That's
back.
Super, I think.
Now back. You can just save it for later. Shiva. Now back to the 11. So Indian 11, no changes as expected. So we spoke about Akshar, but maybe because Akshar at that time was not needed, the two spinners did the job. Might just be needed here if Australia do get down to a good partnership, which I think 2 test matches in a row falling like a pack of cards won't happen in both innings.
Right.
I think one of the innings you'll get. And I think a lot of people might talk about the toss, that hey, last time the toss didn't work in Australia's favour because the pitch got slightly better in the second innings, which is the first inning of the other team, as you notice. So India actually got the best time for batting condition.
Yeah.
Not to say that India didn't bat well. I think Australia batted badly.
Yeah.
But I think the blame also lies with Australia because when they batted first and they were in a good position. I think 177 was
Yeah.
from where they were. In that first innings they should have ideally got about. Oh, we have Mr. Rahul Rawat joining us from Firozshah Kotla. Rahul, is the smog as bad as what we're seeing on screen? क्या माहौल क्या है?
No. It's not as bad. Of course, I think since yesterday it's been the AQI level is pretty low and pretty bad. In fact, pretty high rather. So it's not as bad, but yes, you can feel a bit of nip in the air. I think with as the day progresses, I think it will get better. But yeah, so I am right outside the Firozshah Kotla. I'm sorry for handling or mishandling because I don't have the equipment, so I'm just live from
this
my
actually looks
phone.
better.
And
Yeah.
This looks better. This
Is it?
Yeah. In your hand,
how to
we get the
switch
feel
to
of
the other camera. So okay.
No, we get the feel
So
of the
this is-
ground. I can see the beautiful tricolor on both sides. So this looks even better.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah, so you've been to this venue umpteen times, so
Yes.
you know where I'm headed to. So this is gate
Yeah.
number 3 and
You're heading to the VIP zone, na? You're VIP, so. Yeah.
No, they adorned it really nicely. Oh, with the tricolours.
Yeah. No, they take it up in this way only.
We can't hear his audio for some reason. Rahul, your audio is breaking, so we can't hear you, but we can see the lovely visuals that you're showing us as you enter. I think it's frozen, Shivam. So just switch back. So we could see Rahul there just entering. I know which part of the ground this is.
Yeah.
He'll be entering to be watching some cricket, some live cricket. Not everyone's as lucky as him. We'll be watching it on television.
Yes.
Coming back to the toss, I think Australia, I think it was a good toss to win even in Nagpur. Just that first innings, instead of 177, if they had notched up 250, 260, which they were on course to do, then game could have been different. A little bit more, and then India were also under the pump when they lost the initial wickets, when they had a bit of a middle order. Have we got him back?
Trying.
Okay, trying. So I think this time too, whatever said and done, Australia would be the happier team to have won the toss, I guess, and bat first. I think still a right call.
This time they should probably make better use of it than they did last time, though. Because the key is to see out the first hour or so. That's when I think last time that didn't really happen. You lost wickets in clusters, especially after I think once Labuschagne and Smith went. Then you knew the back is broken. Then you had multiple collapses, and that was the problem.
No cluster collapses. That's what Australia will be hoping for. Even
if they lose say 2 wickets going into lunch.
Yes.
Fair.
That's the problem. Because see, Australia may have had the best batting conditions, but in India they have tended to cluster collapse every single time.
Which is why, I mean, I was just telling you, having spoken to a much learned person, a former cricketer, who said Rahul is here. Can you hear us now? We lost your connection.
Yeah. I think maybe because of...
What do you make of the fact that Australia have gone in with almost 4 spinners, 3 regular and one a part-timer in Travis Head, only one fast bowler, Pat Cummins?
It'll be very difficult because...
Oh, their network would be...
Can you hear us, Rahul? No, I think we lost him. So I mean, just going back to what you were saying about them collapsing clusters. So as I said, some wise man said they were collapsing because they were not ready to play.
Yes.
They were being defensive is not a bad thing in Test cricket, but positively defensive. Even when you're playing defense, be a bit positive, as in be assured of where you need to play.
And but I thought the fast bowlers you have to.
I think that's what's
It's in a loop.
It's coming faster now.
Yeah. How much ever the network can make up.
It's like a fast forwarding. Network issues galore.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to show some positive intent, even in defense, which they were not. And I think, I don't know if you guys read, but this is what Pat Cummins actually said, because now that they're batting first, the tone has to be set by the openers.
Yes.
And they lost the openers pretty quickly that first test match, first innings specifically. And for there, David Warner is lucky now to get another test match because there was talk about him being dropped. But what now the Australian team apparently has told David Warner is that we want David Warner of the old, as in there is no point David Warner trying to survive.
Yeah.
David Warner has to play counter-attacking cricket. David Warner has to play aggressive cricket. No, okay, sure, that sometime it won't work. The Sehwag style of cricket.
Yeah.
By the way, if you remember, David Warner was never considered a test player. He turned it around, and he accepted it in an interview that it was a conversation he had with Virender Sehwag during his time in the IPL with the Delhi team, where Sehwag said, "Go out and play like you play your white ball cricket. Try and play it like that."
Yes.
He said, as soon as I started doing that, he got that second win in Test cricket where he did well. Suddenly now he's gone back into the chin, so he has to rediscover the David Warner of white ball cricket. He'll have to play like that.
Yes.
And the interesting thing was he was struggling similarly against South Africa at home. Then in the third test, if I'm not wrong, second test in Sydney.
Melbourne.
Sydney it wasn't it where he got that 100?
Double 100 you mean? Melbourne.
When he went back there, then he rediscovered second test.
Oh.
Who knows? Why not?
Yeah.
But in between that, I mean, 10 innings.
Exactly.
He just did not go past 50.
He was scratchy, very scratchy.
Gaul, that was the test match where he hit a 50. He had a rather consistent run against Pakistan. But after that, it's all been droughts for David Warner. And in India, that among all the countries where he's played 5 or more tests, he has the worst average.
In India, it's struggled
26 against England, but 22 against India.
Yeah, in India you're right. I mean,
And I had asked him in 2017 during the Bangalore ODI, I mean, why do you struggle so much? Because you played so much. He said, I myself don't know the answer.
Yeah, if he knew the answer, he'd fix it. Nah.
Exactly.
He doesn't know. By the way, Akash Bhardwaj is a good point. He says we've used Navjot Singh Sidhu. Good shout, Akash.
Murderer of spin bowling.
Yeah. Shane Warne to he did Dhulai. Murli also did Dhulai.
Seriously, I have Navjot.
And his philosophy was very simple. I worked many years with him.
Yeah.
So his philosophy is like spinner में मैंने टप्पा ही नहीं पड़ने देना है. I'll just go. Like why you do allow the ball to turn?
Yeah, which is
I
correct.
will ensure that be to the pitch of the ball, every ball. As soon as it pitches, patak.
That's the philosophy the Aussies could do well to play rather than being tentative and waiting for the ball to spin.
I mean, the best thing was dancing down the wicket and lofting the spinners.
That's what.
Sight to watch.
Because he said, I didn't want the ball to turn.
Yeah,
Why get struggling and ball is turning and struggling.
We all focused on Vaughan versus Tendulkar, but the guy who initially set it up in the 98 series was Sidhu.
Actually, Sachin accepted later that that's what gave him the confidence also. Because first innings, I remember Bombay Test, he got out early to Shane Warne. Sachin.
No, Chennai.
When he got out first.
That was the first meeting.
4 runs. Yeah. First meeting, like built up and big thing. And he got caught in bowled or something like that.
No, he got caught at slip. He tried a nudge to the leg side, got an edge and Taylor took the catch.
4 runs or something.
Runs,
I remember that. And then he turned around and looked at Sidhu and know. Though he had a great that toe game before that against Mumbai.
204.
Where he played against Australia.
Shane Warne got 0 for 116.
And he purposely did that to put their confidence low. So it's like a lot of mind games happening. And he said, no, I'll play for Mumbai. Imagine, a regular like Sachin. Today, the players forget playing against the opposition team in the tour game. They don't play Ranji Trophy themselves. He actually played a tour game. Saying, no, I'll play the tour game.
I know.
And get my confidence. And my God, that was different time. So Navjot Sidhu is also a good contender. We'll bring him. Anshu Mishra is saying, sir, the legend who's sitting to your right, I'm guessing he's talking about Sid. Were you a UPSC aspirant? Because always next level dedication in your eyes he sees. He thinks that before becoming a journalist, your dream was to become
IAS.
Is that true? Confirm that.
No, I didn't want to become an IAS officer because
Niche jana, Shivam.
I knew that maths would be my ultimate weakness. I struggle in maths big time. So that is why I said that I will try and get as much of this thing, cricket knowledge as much as I could. So I read slightly and then that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
There it is.
Yep.
So no, you're wrong.
Yes.
He is a stats whiz of sports. He didn't want to be IAS officer.
IAS officer, yes.
Okay, by the way, talking about openers, Roy SP has picked up Pankaj Roy.
Yeah.
Yes, great.
413 run partnership at the very beginning. Yes.
Tinu Mankad.
Yep.
Yes.
Pankaj Roy. 50s.
It was a good second innings play. Good call, Roy SP. That's why I said there are too many contenders.
Yeah.
So you'll have to really sit back. I don't know. We'll have to check. Farooq Engineer also opened in Test cricket. We'll have to see how he did.
Yeah.
He was also quite an aggressive. He was a Sehwag much before Sehwag.
Yep.
An aggressive player.
What a dasher.
Dasher. Yeah, exactly. So,
Yep.
there are a lot of guys who will... Thank you, Mr. Shekhar. Yes, I'm back. But as you can see with my cough that I'm still not 100%.
Yep.
But at least fit enough to be talking. Better than having no voice at all.
Yes. That was really
Which these guys were happy about. They didn't have to hear me.
Nice.
So like,
That's
अच्छा है
not
इसका voice
strictly true at all.
voice ही चला गया तो अच्छा है.
We can't hear now.
Now they'll have to hear me. No option.
So
you had super chat. So coming back to Australia's, I mean Warner, yes, got a lifeline, has to play counter-attacking cricket. But what about just one fast bowler? Last time, if you remember, Boland was actually the guy creating pressure on one end and Todd Murphy picking up wickets on the other. So he had an impact, but suddenly you decide not to go with him. I don't know. Very one-dimensional in that sense.
Yeah.
I know you got different kinds of spinners, but still.
No, I think
3 off spinners.
yeah. One left arm orthodox,
And
two
off
off
spinners.
spinners.
Correct.
3. Travis Head.
Travis Head.
Travis Head too. Yeah.
3 off spinners.
No man. At least we don't have an overrate problem.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe you would, because I'm a bit surprised because Cummins the other day said that yes, the Aldo talk about spinners, getting wickets, but he said with the new ball, if a fast bowler also has a good impact, changes things. For example, like India did with the new ball, picked up wickets. Assuming, let's say, the openers played out the new ball, then maybe the spinners wouldn't have been able to make those breakthroughs. So
Correct.
it does. So and who's going to bowl? So from the second over itself,
Yes.
There'll be spin. Yeah.
There'll be
I think
spin.
see,
had Green been playing, maybe.
yes, then there would have been some balance. The problem with this Australia team right now is a severe lack of all-rounders. There's Head really being the only one. I don't count Marnus because he's very part-time.
Yeah.
But beyond that, India's advantages are of the 3 spinners. One is an Ashwin who's a very fair bat in test, and then you have 2 full-time all-rounders. So it adds depth also. With Australia, the problem is they would have had to pay 5 pure bowlers if they wanted another.
No, but Cummins is a decent bat.
Cummins is a decent
yeah.
enough bat, yes.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think they lack true all-round options.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's their problem.
True.
Because Stark was touch and go. He would anyway on this wicket. He wouldn't
Would you
have
have played
featured.
him?
No, I don't think so.
You know why the other thing with Stark, what he would have done is what India were doing. So Gautam Gambhir has the honor of ringing the bell for day 1 of that test match. Yeah, saying what India had the advantage because they had those left arm spinners, and for that left-handed batsman they needed rough marks. So you had 2 right arm fast bowlers. So they were creating the rough. Now with the Stark, he would have created some rough for their off spinners. For the righties,
Yes.
Yeah.
which there was an option. I don't know whether they thought like that, and I think to try and compensate for not having Stark, they used to bowl off spinners from round the wicket to create that rough for the right-handers. But anyway, I mean, they've gone with what they could.
That's the problem. I mean, that injuries that have happened to Green and Stark came at a very wrong time.
Yeah, Green's injury especially has
Yeah,
put
that's
the entire team
yes.
composition off balance.
That's the problem. And I don't know whether Green will be fit for the 3rd test as well, because he didn't
there,
look.
right?
Yeah,
But
he's there, but he's not looking. He didn't practice much. Stark could feature in Indore, but again, looking at the pitch there, I don't know whether they'll want to play 3 pacers. That's the problem.
Let's quickly take a look at the super chats before we wind up. Shivam. Roy SP says, if Australia was so underconfident with Aga, why did they bring him? A man who wasn't supposed to play this series as top order. Head can bowl fair. Actually, true. If you were under, but I'll tell you something. I mean, I read a few reports. They were not too I mean, they obviously didn't have great confidence in him when they got him, but apparently that confidence fell a bit more during that time that they spent here. They were near Bangalore in that place where they were practicing, and they had a camp or so, where they apparently in the practice session, the net session, he was a bit wayward and was failing to get his lengths right and things like that. So I think that just added on. And you oftentimes see that what's happening in practice, and I think that's the purpose of practice. We're looking at them very closely as to what they're doing. So after that, I think it changed.
Anyway, getting Agar in also was a very dodgy call in the very first place. He's barely played that much of first class cricket. He's a BBL and a T20 gun. He isn't a first class bowler in that sense. That's the reason why they left out Adam Zampa.
Yeah.
Zampa with much more impact in subcontinent conditions, but the reason given, he's not played that much of first class cricket.
But
I would have gone with
Zampa, man.
But then you brought in Agar, who's also
but
not
you've got the leggy still.
Swepson.
No, but Swepson isn't in because he's gone back home for the birth of his child.
Yes.
So you couldn't get Swepson in also. And Swepson anyway, again, untested. But with, you may say, Zampa, look at what he's done in the subcontinent, even in Asia. I just don't understand the reticence of not picking Zampa when he was at his best. Now his confidence is gone. I don't think he's getting a chance ever again.
Yeah.
Okay, swing of the pitch.
Purushottam is saying buy a microphone separately, but we are all using separate
microphones.
Yeah, we're not sharing the microphone. Purushot. No. Purushot Mek. Not Purushottam, sorry. Purushot Mek. That name is. Shubham, thank you, for your comment. How many Arnab Pal? Very nasty, yaar. I'm not going to take that comment. Very nasty. He's talking about drop catches and come on, yaar.
Yep. And
No, that's
Akash Bharadwaj.
Yeah, that we'll answer on another day. Any super chat left? Nothing?
No, I don't think that's...
Okay, I want to enjoy the game, yeah.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
And I'll dig out some stats.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
please do.
Thank you. Wanna come.
See ya.
See you at lunch.
Shami.